As much as intuitive eating is about saying yes to foods that you enjoy, yes to foods that you love, intuitive eating is also about saying no to foods that don't serve you, that don't make you feel well. And this is not restriction. This is not dieting. This is not deprivation. This is self-love. This is intuitive eating. So what I mean by this is, of course, intuitive eating is saying yes to foods that you desire, that you want, right? Maybe you go out for dinner and you are like, I really want the sweet potato fries. Heck freaking yes. Maybe for breakfast, you are like, everything in me says you need to get a high protein breakfast and just have plain egg whites, and you know that actually tastes like absolute garbage, and you're like, no, I want to be a badass and I want to have this big ass bowl of oats and almond butter and banana and honey, whatever floats your boat. And so you say yes to that desire. You're like, yes, I want to have the big bowl of oats. I want to have the almond butter. I want to have the banana. Like, saying yes to foods that you love is so important. However, if you really want to master intuitive eating and you want to feel incredible in your own skin, which I know you do, you want to become the healthiest person, you want to take really good care of yourself, you want to have a good digestive system, you want to just have so much energy, you want to be in a fantastic mood, it's not just about saying yes all the time. It's not about saying yes to dinner every single time. It's not about saying yes to dessert every single time. It's not about saying yes to the foods that you want all the time, because sometimes you actually need to say no. And again, this is not dieting. This is not deprivation. This is, I want to feel my best. I want to feel like a badass. And badasses don't walk around feeling bloated all day because they ate something that they knew bloats them, right? So you also need to find a healthy balance between saying no sometimes. I don't have dessert every single time I go out for dinner. I don't go out for dinner every single time Andrew says, hey, you want to go out? Sometimes I say no. And it is not because I can't. It's not because, oh my God, what am I going to eat? And oh my God, the calories. And definitely not that. It's just sometimes I'm like, I actually prefer my home cooked meals. Sometimes I actually prefer my treats at home that I make or my mom makes and she delivers them to my house or she brings them to my house. Sometimes I prefer that over going out for dessert or going out for dinner just because of how I feel. And, again, same with, eating certain foods. It's like, yeah, I could have my chocolate chip pancakes every single day, but I don't, because that doesn't make me feel good when I literally have it every single day, right? I can't even imagine having chocolate chip pancakes every single day. I have my regular pancakes every single day, basically for breakfast, but that makes me feel good. I love it. It's satisfying. It's filling. It's the best. But every single time that I go out for dinner, I don't always get dessert. And here's the thing. If you're saying yes all the time, you're actually not being intuitive. Because the truth is, there are some times where you're not going to want dessert. But if you're just saying yes because, oh, well, technically I can, that's not intuitive eating, right? So saying yes is important. But also saying no is just as important. If somebody offers you food and you genuinely don't want it, you can say no. If somebody offers you a snack, a dessert, even like fruit, and you're just like, I don't want it, I'm not hungry, or I don't feel like it right now, you can say no, and that is very powerful. I don't care what other people think. If everyone else is eating and I'm like, I don't really want anything right now, let them comment, let them say something. I don't care. I am listening to my body. And I don't say no in a deprivation way. I say no in the most empowering way where I'm like, I know my body and I'm not hungry right now. Or I know my body and that food is not going to make me feel good. I know my body, and honestly, going out for dinner is just not in alignment for me right now. Right? And so I want to share this because I don't want you to feel bad for saying no. Saying no is, wow, that's a beautiful gift to give your body sometimes. You know, if you've just had, you know, way more sweets than you'd like to one day, sure, you can have sweets tomorrow. Absolutely. But if you're still bloated and you're still on this sugar rush, or maybe your stomach is literally hurting you and somebody says, hey, like, want to go for dessert? Again, you can. But how do you feel? And if you're like, honestly, like, man, like what's going to be so much more nourishing is just like a home cooked meal, then say no. Say no. Like, you're allowed to do that. If somebody, even at a restaurant, and they're like, hey, like, what sauce do you want? And if you don't want it, you can say no. If you don't want dessert, you can say no. If you don't want an appetizer, you can say no. If you're at somebody's house and they're, you know, saying, hey, we're all going to have dessert, like, oh, well, it's this person's birthday. Obviously, you need to have a piece, and you actually do not want it, you can say no. Forget about what they think. Forget about what they say, because I've gone through that phase as well too, where as I was healing my relationship with food, I wasn't feeling guilty anymore for eating these foods. I just got to a point where I was like, I was so empowered where I was like, okay, I know I can. I absolutely know I can have this dessert, but I don't feel like it. I actually don't really want it. And so I said no. And there used to be a part of me that was like, oh my God, are they going to still think I'm dieting? Are they still going to, who cares? Let them think whatever the heck they want to think. What do you actually want? What do you actually want? If you want XYZ food, say yes. If you don't want XYZ food, say no. So you're in the driver's seat. You are actually so much more in control than you actually are probably giving yourself credit for. Saying no is not a bad thing. Saying no when you really want a food, that's a problem. So if you really wanted the oatmeal for breakfast and you're saying, no, you should probably have the egg whites. No. That's not a healthy relationship with food. A healthy relationship with food is like, yes, my body is like, I really want oatmeal. Okay, I'm going to have the oatmeal. That's a yes. And then there might be a no where you're like, you know, somebody, you know, you're out for dinner and you're feeling a little bit more fuller than you'd actually like. And they're like, hey, do you want dessert? And you're like, honestly, I kind of do, but I'm also like already super full and nothing really is good on the menu. So like, no, thanks, I'm good. That is so empowering. That is so empowering. So balance this healthy yes with a healthy no. It's not one is better than the other. It's not like, say yes every single time. You know, somebody asks you to go out for dinner, like always say yes, because sometimes you're not going to feel like it. Sometimes you're going to be like, actually don't want to, and that is okay. And I know that can be challenging when you've probably said no to yourself so many times that you don't want it to feel like deprivation, but you can't see it that way. See it as, this is the most empowering decision for myself. I'm being intuitive. I'm listening to my body, and this is a beautiful gift that you can give yourself. All right, badasses, we are going to wrap up this podcast episode. And as a reminder, I am giving away a ticket to the Unstoppable Badass event happening this March in Orlando, Florida. And I am so excited. This is going to be a transformative weekend for you. And so be sure to enter the giveaway, and it's super simple. If you click the link down below in the show notes, I'll explain everything, how to enter, how to win the giveaway. But all you need to do is share any of my podcast episodes to your Instagram stories and tag me, and you'll get entered to win the giveaway. If you leave a review on the podcast, it's actually 5 entries. So review the podcast. It literally takes 2 seconds. If you're listening to this every single day, come on, let's be honest, you freaking love the podcast. Rate a review, and you might have a chance to win a ticket to the Unstoppable Badass event, which is going to be incredible. If you already have your ticket, you can still enter to win because you can give it away to a loved one, a friend, a coworker, and they can actually come with you to the event because this is going to be the most epic event of the year. And yeah, it's going to be literally incredible. So be sure to enter the giveaway, and the giveaway winner will be announced, I believe I said January 16th. But all the details are down below in the show notes. So I'm so excited. Go ahead, leave a review and share your favorite podcast episodes to your Instagram stories, or just share this one. Share any of them to your Instagram stories and tag me, and you'll be entered to win. All right, I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll chat with you soon.